Before this video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 14.4, we got a brand new Ultra Form, this being the Ultra Form for Divine Thundia. This Ultra Form gives her a 26% boost in health, an additional piercing attack that deals 64,640 damage, a standing range boost from 440 to 460, a speed boost from 10 to 15, guaranteed survive, a slightly faster cooldown, and immunities to slow and weaken. This Ultra Form requires 2 red behemoth gems, 5 green behemoth stones, and a golden cat fruit. In this video, I want to go over the brand new additions for Thundia and to see if these additions help her out or if they aren't anything special. The footage shown in this video has the following talents applied: Strengthen, Curse Immunity, Attack, and Health. With this out of the way, let's discuss Thundia's Ultra Form. Thundia is already known to be one of the strongest red nukers in the game, but how does her Ultra Form further boost her ability to nuke red enemies? What she gets to help with this is truly fascinating. Thundia now gets a split LD attack, or rather gains an additional piercing attack, as her damage in her now 1 to 461 range is still the same as it was before, but now she has a piercing attack that lands between 460 to 920 range and lets her deal 64,640 damage. Her DPS at this range is only 4,400, but the raw damage allows her to score key hits against a wide range of enemies that are hard to reach for most units. Against red enemies, this number gets bumped up to 258,000 damage, enough to 3-shot 200% Professor A. This extra piercing attack also complements her first attack greatly, as the delay between her first and second attack is long enough to where if an enemy is knocked back by the first attack, they will get struck by the second attack. This turns an attack that would have just dealt 519,000 damage into an attack that deals an astounding 777,000 damage, allowing her to nuke basically any mid-range red enemy that has a knockback, such as Cappy and Toucan. Even against non-red enemies, the combined damage deals 194,000 damage, which for some enemies can make them wait at death's door, or even just deal meaningful long-term damage. Another point that makes her new attacking style so strong is that if she is knocked back before she can land her second hit, this allows Thundia to immediately attack again and deliver even more devastating damage with her first hit. There is one slight caveat that comes with her new attacking style, as she now does the base hugging thing that units like Nala do, which can leave her slightly vulnerable to attacks if you're up at the base. She now gains immunities to slow and weaken. These immunities are meant to complement her new piercing attack due to the enemies with these abilities. Currently, there are 3 major red enemies with these abilities, being Professor A, Hanya, and Pavzerker. However, 2 of these, Professor A and Hanya, both have an extremely high standing range stat of 501 and 800 respectively. While Thundia may not outrange these enemies exactly, using a stepping stone can easily allow her to snipe these 2 enemies, and her immunities make sure she stays on top of her game. As for Pavzerker, the weakened immunity helps if she's struck by this angry puffer, and due to her high attacking stat against red enemies, and on top of her juggling attack style, if the puffer doesn't die from the first hit, then they'll definitely die on the second hit. Mostly unrelated at all to Thundia's Ultra Form and her performance, but I feel like Newton's stage would have been the perfect stage to introduce Pavzerker into Zero Legends, as it can also be another great way to showcase Thundia's crazy pierce and her juggling mechanics. Anyways, Thundia also gains a 26% boost to her health, going from 96,000 to 121,000 HP. While still on the lower side for an Uber at level 60, it's still a large boost for a unit like Thundia. Thundia also gains one last change, this being a guaranteed chance to survive a lethal strike. This gives Thundia one last chance to deliver a powerful strike against most enemies. There is one last thing to look at when discussing her Ultra Form, and this is how they complement her talents. In regards to general stat buff talents, her health boost goes to 145,000 HP, which can be somewhat useful but isn't all too significant to matter on most interactions. Her attack talents, however, complement her new piercing gimmick extremely well. After talents, her raw damage goes to 154,000 damage on the first hit and 77,000 damage on her second hit, combined for a potential damage output of 233,000 damage. This can help further with her juggling capabilities. Where this gets really wicked is when we apply her massive damage ability. Now her damage gets bumped to a gigantic 622,000 damage on her first hit, and 310,000 damage in her second hit for a combined potential damage output of 933,000 damage. This boost in damage could really allow Thundia to deal devastating damage across a wide range of red enemies, and seeing as her first hit already deals so much damage, it could easily allow her to juggle enemies into her second hit for even more damage. Where this gets even better is when she gets her 50% strengthen boost. Her piercing attack now deals 116,000 damage, and when combined with her first hit of 233,000 damage, this adds up to a total of 349,000 damage, which is absurdly strong. Now if we want to apply her massive damage against red enemies, this number gets even more ridiculous. Thundia's first hit will now be dealing 934,000 damage, meaning any red enemy who has more than one knockback is 100% getting knocked back, which will then take another 465,000 damage for a combined damage output of 1.4 million damage. Remember that unlike Ultimate Windy, she doesn't get insane damage, so massive damage talent orbs still work on her, meaning you can further boost this damage to new heights. With her other talents, Curse Immunity ensures she can deal her absurd damage against red enemies without the fear of losing that extra damage to Curse. Wave Resist, on the other hand, is only really useful if you're willing to forego the massive damage orb for a Wave Resist orb. One last thing is if you decide to use both the Biohazard and Bony Bone combos, you can complement Thundia's massive damage with her combo with Skelecat to further boost their massive damage against red enemies. Now with all this said, is Thundia's Ultra Form worth it? As with most Ultra Forms, there is the massive 15 Dark Cat's Eye expense that comes with the Ultra Form. The question really comes down to if you're a fan of the overkill gameplay style and want to squeeze as much out of a unit like Thundia as possible. If you lack strong anti-red Ubers or just want to go so overkill that red enemies are just deleted from the game, then she's absolutely worth the investment. But if you have other powerful anti-red Ubers or already feel like Thundia's true form is good as is, then you could probably skip on this Ultra Form, but if you do decide to get this, then red enemies will never be an issue for you ever again. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Thundia's Ultra Form. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battle Cat's content, and comment down below your thoughts on Thundia's Ultra Form. I'd love to hear what you all think of them. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Gamet, Ian Dean, Ereburel, and Ninja Stars for being silver members or higher. If you want to receive a shout out like these channel members here, then become a silver member or higher today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on, and channel members receive an exclusive role for my Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description down below. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.